Fellow fighters, welcome back. Scotty Combat here, and I want to go over a few things with you. Some of those are exciting, and some are speculative. As most of you know now, there is 11 different titles in the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. This includes mythologies and special forces, and there could be one more. There could be a Mortal Kombat GOLD. Right? It's possible. I do think it is possible we could see Mortal Kombat GOLD, and I want to share why and why I could see how it couldn't make it as well. So Digital Eclipse and Stephen Frost and Dan Amrich, the lead developers over at Digital Eclipse, have all been sharing posts on their X accounts. And for the most part, it seems like this pack should be complete, right? I mean, Digital Eclipse is saying that it's complete. Dan Amrich is saying now all the games are available in the Legacy Collection. I want to pull up Dan's message here, and it says, all Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection games revealed. It's focused on the arcade era, but we know everybody has a different entry point and would like to revisit other games too. All requests have been heard, but we need to focus on making this one as awesome as possible before we go dreaming of the future. And I do agree with this for the most part. I'm already very excited with what we're getting, and I hope it does really well so we can get a Volume 2. I really want to see it happen so we can get Deadly Alliance, not the handheld port, but the PS2 port. Deception, Armageddon, MK vs. DC, and of course, Shaolin Monks. Shaolin Monks is a must. I don't want to be too repetitive, but just imagine Volume 2. It wouldn't have as many games as we have now here in the first collection, but just Deadly Alliance, Deception, Armageddon, MK vs. DC, and Shaolin Monks could be enough to sell it to a lot of people. Deadly Alliance and Shaolin Monks have both never had online play, so there's things they could really do to pump up a second volume that would get a lot of people excited. Just like they're doing with this one, with Trilogy and MK4 for the first time we'll have online access. A lot of us are wondering if we're actually going to see Mortal Kombat GOLD in this product, right? There's definitely a good portion of people now that think we're not going to get it because they are putting messages out there saying that the final games have been released. And reasonably so. I would say if you're someone that thinks the Legacy Collection is done based off the titles we have here, I think it's very fair to assume that. At the same time, there's people also speculating we still could see GOLD. And I'll be honest, there's a part of me that still thinks there is that small possibility we could see it, only because the way they've revealed some of these games do contradict what we've heard along the way. Like they said in the beginning, Mortal Kombat has its secrets. We hope you don't mind if we have a few of our own, right? And Digital Eclipse is very aware of how much people want Mortal Kombat GOLD. And I'll say it myself, man, I really want to see GOLD in the Legacy Collection. I do think there's some folks out there that may have not even played Mortal Kombat GOLD that are also jumping on the bandwagon that really want to see it in there as well, which only gives them more reason for wanting it because they've never experienced it. Wanting Mortal Kombat GOLD is a bandwagon of its own now in the Legacy Collection. And it makes sense. Like Stephen Frost shared himself, it's the next logical step. We've got every single game leading up to Mortal Kombat GOLD that is a title of itself, not every port. And it sounds like if we don't get Mortal Kombat GOLD, it's most likely due to the same treatment that the UMK3 Sega Genesis version is getting right now, and that is because it's in licensing hell. It sounds like they could have got it, but it could be a big issue with money disputes right now. I can't help but say I'm curious myself that if GOLD isn't making it, is it just because the licensing issues as well, or did they not have enough time to put it in here if it's not confirmed? Because no matter what, we're not at PAX West yet. There's one more stop, right? And I just like getting straight to it. We're less than a week away from PAX West. They're going to be there in about 6 days. August the 29th is when they'll show up, and this will be the final stop for any reveals and information they have on the product. I mean, most of us were anticipating a game or two to be revealed at this stop, right? But who would have guessed we would have got Special Forces, Mythology Sub-Zero, and WaveNet UMK3. WaveNet UMK3 definitely caught me off guard because I didn't realize it was pretty much the finalized version of UMK3 where they took away some of the infinits, they put in Noob Saibot, and from the sounds of it, you don't have to use the code to use Noob Saibot now on the roster. Dude, there's something really exciting about that because I think that ups the competitive level of play if this is true where they did remove some of the infinites. Something else I want to mention that's huge that wasn't mentioned during this trailer but we do know now is that there's going to be a practice mode in the game. We already did see there's going to be a fatality trainer in the game. Honestly, it's very cool to see how intuitive they're going with the old school games, giving us a practice mode aside from just a fatality trainer. So now not only will we be able to practice fatalities, we will be able to take our favorite characters and juggle the computer in the corner all day and play characters that we didn't play as much that we would like to learn more about. Just all across the board, this is a win. This is for everyone. This is for old school fans fans to enjoy. This is definitely a win for new people playing the old school Mortal Kombat games. Not everyone has the luxury of using a second controller and just having them sit idle while you try to figure things out, and by the sounds of it, if this is going to be a training mode, then it sounds like there may be a move list available for you. Which gives me the theory right now, whenever they had the discussion if there was going to be a moves list available for players playing on the games, it sounded like the devs weren't that confident with a move list being available right there, but they did say they wanted something available where you didn't have to go away from the game to see your moves. And I think this sounds like the answer. You do have the option to go to training mode to see all the moves and learn how to use them. It just sounds like you won't be able to do it immediately in the match itself. It's just the response in saying we don't want players to go away from the screen to have to look at moves. That wasn't a direct answer in saying yes, you can pull up your moves whenever you're in a match. That was an important question, especially for those that haven't got to play the old school Mortal Kombat games. They've always been used to being able to pull up the moves at any time during the match. So I do think it's a win, even if we aren't able to pull up moves in mid-match. However, the way it was shared is making me wonder if they didn't put that out there to try to soften the blow a little bit. Many people want Mortal Kombat Gold, myself included. Stephen Frost put this message out there. I repeat this again as it bears repeating, but we strive to include every game possible in every collection we do. We are fans, and that is our #1 goal all the time. However, sometimes we can't, just due to licensing, legal, or technical issues beyond our control. I don't want to hyper-focus on this message from Digital Eclipse, but it says, "Thank you everyone for your reception. Our goal for this collection has always been to include as many games from the classic arcade era between 92 and 97 that we can. We have titles ranging from the original MK arcade version up to the PS1 era games and mythologies and special forces, and anything in between that we could get our hands on. Please keep in mind that we strive to include every game possible. However, due to either legal, licensing, or technical issues beyond our control, some things are off the table." That leaves the room for speculation. Does that mean Gold wasn't on their priority list, because Gold released in 1999 and their goals are between 92 and 97, and some of these games that are already on the list released after 97, like the Deadly Alliance handheld port? I guess that wasn't a goal, but maybe they were like, hey, if we can get it in there, that's great. It's difficult because I can see both sides in this, because they're saying that the game is now complete, right? But the motto is, they like to have secrets just like MK as well. So with that being said, and having one last stop, I don't feel confidence that we're getting Mortal Kombat Gold. At the same time, I'm still not ruling it out, because honestly, the only thing that would make me rule out Mortal Kombat Gold from now until then is if they were just to come out outright and say, unfortunately, Mortal Kombat Gold won't be a part of this collection. Transparency is important, and we've seen them do some really great reveals. Not only did we get Special Forces and Mythologies together, but we got WaveNet UMK3 as well. And as far as Digital Eclipse and the devs saying that there really isn't going to be more games, the way I'm taking it right now is they may be speaking to certain ports of the games, because really, the foundation for this whole combat tour has been secrets and reveals, right? And I know I'm not the only one thinking this, but when I saw MK4 in this trailer, I do think it looks more pixelated than what I was expecting. Knowing that we're getting the arcade port of Mortal Kombat 4, I was expecting a more clean looking version. It does look very vibrant and bright like the arcade version, but it does seem to be more pixelated than what I remember. And whatever the output is, that could be part of this as well. Maybe the CRT filters and scan lines will actually help reproduce that more authentic feel, but then again, I feel like that was more intended for console ports. And truthfully, they haven't shown us much with MK4, which maybe they're holding out till PAX West to show us more. But remember the Gamer article that revealed Mortal Kombat 4 for arcade and PS1? I do think this looks more like a PS1 port than it does the arcade. Maybe that could confirm this port, but again, speculation. Dynasty called out that publisher, and that publisher went back to his article and updated it. So I don't want to speak on this too much. I don't want to confuse some folks. I really don't know where we're at with MK4, except for being genuine with you right now that obviously we're getting the arcade version of it. Beyond that, I'm not sure, but I was expecting a cleaner version of this from what I see right now. And then there's Digital Eclipse's message saying, announced during the Xbox showcase at Gamescom, final lineup and features for Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection are Mythology, Sub-Zero, and Special Forces. And they did throw in there the training mode that we had went over as well, right? This specifies the final lineup that was at Gamescom, not necessarily what else is to be expected, right? I know it sounds like I'm on some hopium and copium right now, but that's because I don't see any deconfirmation for Mortal Kombat Gold yet. There's still more in this product we haven't had a chance to look at yet, but we're not that far away. For example, there's going to be all the interviews we get to look at. Those of you that remember the 3D era, Deadly Alliance, Deception, Armageddon, there's a segment in each one where you can watch a documentary of behind the scenes. If you've played the 3D era and you've never seen these, definitely check it out because you can see the dev team playing with the weapons or the props for the weapons, and then you can see some of the staff at their computers and what they do on a daily basis. So yes, we have one last stop, and I think they've done a really good job as far as keeping secrets and surprising us. I think they've done a really good job. I will say that aside from letting someone in the showroom to take pictures and record the day before the reveal, that got out like wildfire. Once that stuff goes on the internet, it's not coming back down. People are going to share, but just know it's all an excitement and that we're all fans and very happy. For me, as far as this collection, the thing I was most looking forward to is Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Like, this is the gameplay of Gold right here, right? And there really is a night and day difference, for me anyway, between the graphics of the polygons and how far they made the advancements to the Sega Dreamcast. Yeah, technically Gold is darker in color and there is some limitations, but I'm going by my personal preference that I really do prefer Gold over MK4. Now, as far as bugs, that's a different conversation. I plan on playing these games with people that are going to play it fairly. Again, I know Gold was dated for the time compared to other games that were being released, but looking at it now compared to the rest of the pack and Legacy Collection, this looks really good. So this is my take on it now, guys. I'm excited for the last stop. I do think there's a chance for anything to happen. Anything is possible. For those of you thinking MK Gold is off the table due to the messages that was shared, I get it. I'm not trying to convince anyone that we are getting Mortal Kombat Gold. At the same time, I'm not trying to convince people we aren't either. Also, I want to share, I read all your guys' messages and I really appreciate it. You guys have dropped some funny ones. Like when the trailer dropped, I was blamed for taking too long to react within the same day because they had to watch other YouTubers instead. I'm sorry, man. It's all in good fun. Guys, I can't wait. We're less than a week away from the last stop, which is a shorter gap between the last stop and the previous stop. So it'll be here before we know it. All the rumors can be put to bed, and then we can all finally, hopefully soon, find out when we get the Legacy Collection as far as the digital release. I'm so glad for all the games we are getting in this, and I'm definitely backing this product, and I especially want to see a 3D era version as well. Also playing Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 live in preparation for Legacy Collection on Fightcade. I just started last night, so if you guys want to jump in the live streams and either join me or watch me play against other folks, and I'm mixing it up with some MK1 as well, definitely join me live over on my channel. I go live most nights around 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I want to give a huge shout out to Darryl Tsung. If you haven't seen his channel, please do check it out. If you enjoy these classic games, you're really going to enjoy his channel. Not only is he going over the classic Mortal Kombat games, he goes over so many different ports of them as well. This dude's finding different ports of Mortal Kombats that I didn't even know existed. He's a very good player. This is a match of us playing against each other last night. All around good people. I'm telling you, just if you haven't seen him, give him a chance. Again, if you want to join me in some matches on Fightcade UMK3, which you'll need a PC to be able to play it, it is free. Definitely let me know, but above all, just come hang out. My friends, that's all for this one. Let me know if you think we're getting Gold down below, or if you'd like to see more, especially like the N64 port of Trilogy. If you're new to the channel, please do like and subscribe. It definitely does help, and I will see you guys all live and or in the next video. Much love, everyone, and take care.